The conveyor belts were 24/7 at Zoomlion's Ghana Limited's Accra composting cycling plant on the outskirts of Accra City in West Africa as piles of trash run through while workers sift through, separating plastic, biodegradable waste, glass and other chaff. The garbage is collected very early in the morning every day, as early as 4 a.m. from the dimly lit streets across the Ghanaian capital en route to the several Zoomlion Ghana Limited's recycling plants. After sorting the trash, the biodegradable waste is treated and then fed into an assortment of machinery and processed into fertilizers. Zoomlion Ghana Limited, which commenced operations in 2007, has contracts with all local government assemblies in Ghana for waste management. The company is one of the subsidiaries of Jospong Group of Companies founded by Joseph Sia Agyepong with business interests in waste management, ICT and banking. Since the August 10th macabre tableau of the Kiteezi dump site that killed 34 people, injured 21 and displaced 280 people, Jospong Group and its founder Mr. Agyepong have been a permanent fixture in Uganda, jetting in and out of the country. After back and forth, including meetings with President Museveni in October, Jospong Group was handed the deal to decommission the Kiteezi landfill. The company was brokered by one of the Speakers of Parliament, who is also said to be their point person. Between September 20th and 22nd, a 5-person delegation team led by the Junior Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Kabuye Chofa-Togabye, visited Accra for due diligence on the company's various waste management operations, including the Accra composting cycling plant, which processes a reported 2,000 tons of waste, up from 600 tons. Chofa-Togabye and the team also visited the Kipon landfill outside Accra, which the company decommissioned in 2022 after 15 years of use. It is on the basis of this experience that the Ugandan government handed the Kiteezi landfill to Jospong. The Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamia, had put brakes on the deal on October 17th after reports of contract irregularities were raised. However, she was told to back off following a meeting in October at State House Entebbe between the President and Jospong Group's executives. The company indicated to start decommissioning the Kiteezi landfill in March 2025, processing some 2,000 tons of waste. What the Ugandan due diligence team missed or did not establish is that Zoomlion Ghana Limited has been mired in a lot of controversies in Ghana over the years, including being debarred by the World Bank for 2 years following the company's acknowledgement of misconduct impacting the bank's finance the emergency Monorovia urban sanitation project in Liberia. The company paid bribes to facilitate contract execution and processing of invoices, the World Bank Group wrote on September 25, 2013. Later, in 2014, the then Ghanaian President John Mahama's government pulled the plug on a list of companies, including Jospong Group's subsidiaries, Ghana Management Services Limited, over questionable contracts. In 2018, Ghana Web reported that Zoomlion Ghana Limited was fingered by a special audit of the country's Auditor General, accusing the company of having received illegal payments from the National Health Insurance Authority and directed to refund GHC 400 million, approximately 94 billion Ugandan shillings. The company denied the claims and threatened legal action over the matter. In August 2021, it was reported that the Ghanaian Auditor General directed Jospong Group to refund GHC 95 million, about 22.4 billion Ugandan shillings received since 2016 from various Ghanaian local governments for waste management, but without any legal basis. In 2022, it was reported that the Ghanaian Auditor General revealed that Zoomlion Ghana Limited had been unduly paid GHC 40 million, about 9 billion Ugandan shillings. The Minister for Kampala, Mr. Kabanda, told NTV to leave the company alone when asked about the company's checkered past.
Anytime they're just waiting for KCCA to give them permission to start. But as Ministry, for us, we have okayed them. So we are only waiting for guidance from the Attorney General as to how they are going to operate. But otherwise, for us, as Ministry, we have okayed them. And yesterday we had our last meeting and the Cabinet has already okayed them.
She defended that the due diligence team were satisfied with what they saw.
They appreciated what was there. That's why we took them to the president, at least to second them to start the business of decommissioning.
Yes.
Because we think the Kiteezi is still dangerous to the community, so we have to act as soon as possible. I don't have any issue with the Ghanaian people, and if anyone has any information, any bad information about them, we can also receive that information. But me, I have not received that information.
Most importantly, she said, the company has deep pockets.
Because they have not asked for money. If someone asks for money, then I would think maybe he wants to get money from me, but he has not asked for anything. For him, he wants to work, to start to work. How can I say that he's not a good person?
So he's just investing his own money?
Yes, he's investing his own money.
Do you know how much?
I can't tell.
The condemned Kiteezi landfill was started in 1996 as a dumping site for garbage from Kampala, when the city's population was estimated around 774,241 as per the 1991 census, and parts of Entebbe district from which Wakiso district was carved. By 2015, there were warning signs that the dump site was an accident of the landfill spilling beyond its buffer zone waiting to happen. However, the KCCA leadership and their supervising agencies slept on the job. There was another alert last year in November following the heavy rains the month before. A more serious warning was raised in January this year, and another raised 40 days to the August 10th accident. Countries are faced with serious garbage problems while often overlooking tested solutions such as incineration, which is increasingly criticized for its contributions to carbon emissions, or waste to energy and waste to fertilizer, especially for biodegradable waste from plant or animal sources. A May 2023 study on waste and recycling by the German Development Corporation GIZ detailed some 1,300 to 1,500 tons of garbage are collected daily around the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area, of which 43% is biodegradable waste, followed by mixed fines waste at 42%, plastics at 6%, animal waste at 3%, sanitary waste at 3%, paper at 2%, and textile and glass at 0.5%, respectively. Back in West Africa, Accra, a rapidly urbanizing city of over 2 million people, compared to Kampala's 1.8 million as per the 2024 census, generates approximately 2,419 tons of waste daily, or 75,000 tons of waste monthly, of which 53% is organic matter and 16% is plastics. In developed countries in Europe, Asia, and North America, landfills are well-engineered and operated facilities, including processing the waste. This rethink of approach and method has for the most part eluded Uganda owing to several factors, including deficiency in common sense, politics, corruption and confusion among the different agencies. The Ministry of Kampala revealed this week it is in advanced stages of acquiring 200 acres of land at Bujuko along Mityana Road to develop a new landfill. Inexplicably, in 2016, KCCA acquired 135 acres of land to urgently decommission Kiteezi and develop a modern landfill at Dundu in Champisi sub-county in Mukono district. The plans never materialized due to non-prioritization until tragedy struck on August 10th. Since 2019, KCCA was in talks with several companies, including a joint venture of Rickson Investments SL and their local partners Vida Energy Uganda Limited to develop a $100 million 364 billion shillings waste to energy power plant at Dundu, incinerating 1,090 tons of waste per day to generate 20 megawatts. Discussions did not yield significant results until October 2023, when the company secured audience with the president and subsequently entered into an MOU with KCCA in December.
After signing the MOU with KCCA, which we signed in December 2023, we engaged on the remaining studies on the land, which is actually part of the implementation of the project to ensure we are ready to implement the project. At the same time, we have been requesting KCCA to give us the waste supply agreement and land lease agreement, which we have not got so far. So we proceeded with our tasks which were required as part of the MOU. We finished all our exercises or all our studies in June 2024, and we submitted a report to KCCA with all the reports, including the plant layout, the design, and the model of the plant. Ever since that, we have been waiting from KCCA. We have been in touch with them, but they are not proceeding with the agreements which are required.
The company expects to reach financial closure by the end of June 2025 and commence operations in November 2026, according to its officials.
Clarify the waste side of the project. The waste will be directly delivered from the city to Dundu. So we are not shifting the waste from Kiteezi to Dundu. That is our project is all about. Kiteezi waste is old waste, which now cannot be used to produce energy because it requires a lot of treatment, lot of segregation there. So we are talking about the fresh waste which will keep on getting generated in and around the city of Kampala, which will then be delivered by KCCA to Dundu as a feedstock for our project.
Invariably, KCCA had long started discussions with another company, NLS Waste Power Plant Limited, to develop a waste-to-energy power plant in Imbalala, Mukono district using the waste generated in Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. The company planned to generate 115 megawatts from the garbage. NLS Waste Power Plant went a notch higher to procure dustbins for KCCA for placement at various locations around Kampala to ease garbage collection. The company then moved into signing MOUs with other local governments like Entebbe, Mukono and Mbale, among others, to collect their garbage to supplement the 1,300 tons of waste collected from Kampala. Weeks before the Kiteezi accident, one of the three sacked KCCA executives had asked the NLS Waste Power Plant Limited executives to first construct for them a modern house before greenlighting any of the company's proposals. NLS Waste Power Plant had already secured a permit for a power plant from the electricity regulator, the Electricity Regulatory Authority. The regulator is, however, currently in a legal quandary after NLS Waste Power Plant's lawyers, AF Mpanga, wrote on October 25th protesting against the planned issuance of a license to RIC Energy Group. The Electricity Regulatory Authority had earlier on October 4th published in the Daily Monitor a notice of intended application for the public to submit views and comments on RIC Energy Group's license in accordance with Section 30 of the Electricity Act. Upon obtaining the permit to conduct feasibility studies, NLS has promptly done the crucial studies and submitted the feasibility study report to ERA. NLS has successfully completed the topographical survey, geotechnical studies, civil works design, electromechanical design, feasibility studies, poor evacuation studies, while the environmental and social impact assessment is currently 60% complete, AF Mpanga wrote. The contention, according to NLS, is that the daily garbage collections of 2,500, according to KCCA, but independent surveys put it between 1,300 to 1,500 tons are not sustainable enough to run operations of two plants. There will not be enough waste in the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area to sustain both companies in the waste-to-energy sector. The feasibility study confirms that a waste-to-energy plant is only viable on the basis of obtaining enough waste to sustain the operations of the plant. Therefore, the absence of enough waste means that the NLS project will not be financially sustainable since NLS will not be able to convince investors to finance the project. This is because the availability of feedstock, which is in the core raw material of the project, will not be guaranteed, AF Mpanga noted. NLS's executives were not readily available for an interview. However, in a rejoinder to the company's protest, RIC Energy's lawyers, Nambale, Nerima and company advocates wrote on November 15th saying they find no merit in the claims of sustainability of garbage. There is no legal or factual basis for NLS Power Plant Limited to assert monopoly rights to waste generated in Kampala and surrounding municipalities such as Entebbe, Mukono, Kira, Nansana and Machinde Sabagabo. As stated in their lawyer's letter, NLS must first enter into supply contracts with several authorities and municipalities under the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. NLS does not have any binding supply contracts. There is no guarantee that the said local government shall enter into supply contracts with NLS. The rejoinder reads in part.
I have not met them. If you know them, let them come to me. Yes, I've not met. At least Seneca I've met. That's why I sent them to the Attorney General. But I've not met that company.
RIC Energy's Group CEO for Asia and Africa, Rajesh Chong, separately defended that there is enough supply of garbage for all interested parties.
The waste which has been increasing in Kampala, first of all, it's not around 2,500 ton a day. It's currently around 1,800 ton a day. which we understand based on all the quantification studies we have done. Part of which is not collected, part of which is actually going to Kiteezi right now. So there is enough waste to sustain this project. Second thing, we have also planned for an expansion of this project as and when the waste increases. In next 3 years, we are planning an investment of additional $100 million to put another waste to energy project, which will require the same feedstock. So we have planned for increasing the stock and also increasing the capacity of the project. Now, other players, they are coming up with proposals, which I always maintain that these are some experimental technologies and this should not be done at a large scale. Deployment of such technologies at a large scale will not be a solution, and that is based on all our technical assessments we have done.
He said they even took KCCA officials to see what the company plans to do here.
When we presented our proposal, they found our proposal very competitive and very reasonable. We have taken the team of KCCA as well as to India to show a similar waste to energy plant which we have constructed in the past, and that gave them the comfort that we have the technology, we have the expertise, we have the finances, and we know the solution.
The Electricity Regulatory Authority officials told Entebbe that NLC's concerns are valid for such multi-million-dollar ventures, but the blame should be put at the City Hall for the confusion. Kabanda, who acknowledged visiting India to see RIC Energy's plant, said they were satisfied, but now the problem is the tariff floated by the company.
I visited them in India and I appreciated what they were doing, but the only problem they had is the tariff. They are selling to us electricity at 15 cents, and the government of Uganda wants to buy electricity at 8 to 7 cents. That's the only problem. Otherwise, they have done each and everything. And I would recommend them, but I don't have that power of recommending them. Because if government says it's 8 cents, and for them they are selling us at 15 cents, I can't say you come and do something.
Uganda, according to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, is rapidly growing with annual urbanization and population growth rates of 5.1% and 3.3% respectively. However, the existing infrastructure, solid waste management does not match increased urbanization. The Kiteezi accident gave the country a clear picture of what is at stake. However, as the garbage mess gets our hand across all local governments and garbage collection costs increase, feasibly, waste management plans are mired in bureaucratic endless cycles of boardroom politics with a dosage of corruption.